Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is your host Frank the Vamp, and welcome back to Analyzing the Franchise. We're continuing talking about the Scream series. Like I said, because of Wes Craven's untimely passing, we're dedicating the whole month, and in honor of him. So I apologize for other projects that are being put on hold, including the Puppet Master series, Analyzing the Franchise, but. Um, you know, I think we all agree that this is more fitting that I'm talking about the master of horror, and we're talking Scream 3 tonight. And Scream 3 um, came out in the year 2000. We have some characters reprising their roles, and of course we're coming back with Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette and Lee Schreiber, coming back to the film, some of the survivors. There may be some spoilers, by the way. And I'll put that on the description of the video. One of the things about Scream 3, and I think this is what's going to make it a short review. Scream 3, right off the bat, it's a good film. But this was intended to um, end the trilogy. I mean, end Scream and wrap it all in one nice little bow. But even though this movie is good, it failed to wow. It failed to be great in my eyes. And we're gonna tell you what worked, what didn't, and it's actually pretty straightforward. First, let's talk about the great Wes Craven, directed this movie, and let's see what went right and what went wrong and what happened. And in my opinion, it wasn't Wes Craven's fault. Why it didn't turn out to be what he intended to be. Um, we have the awesome opening again and the plot. This time with Cotton Weary, getting the famous Funko, with Ghostface voice, on the other end saying that he's got to. What happens is that Cindy has gone into hiding, and Ghostface wants to know the whereabouts, and Cotton Weary has to play a game that if he knows where she is, he will let Cotton's girlfriend live. Otherwise, she's toast. And I'm not gonna ruin the opening scene for you. It's pretty cool, and it's a Scream tradition, and that plays well. The story pretty much follows the fact that Cindy's gone. She's gone into hiding, understandably after all the crap she's been to. And at the same time, we have another situation where Stab 3, the fictional movie within the movie that's going on, it's being produced, it's being shot and directed by this new guy named Roman, and and some of the cast members are involved, as consultants, and basically, the plot, goes into some kills. Well done, by the way. Well done kills, and it pretty much follows you into the shocking ending, which, by the way, I like. So I guess I'm not gonna give away too much of that. But what I can give away is that this is a pretty straightforward story. I mean, besides the ending that I really like, it lacks wow factor. I mean, it's a pretty good straight up horror movie. Um, it's not particularly great. It's not particularly bad in anything. I mean, it's one. If I can mention something, I can tell you that Neb Campbell's just getting better and better and playing her character. I love her at the ending, and it's in and like I said, spoilers, but the touching scene with with the brother at the end is actually pretty cool. It reminds me kind of like when the scenes that Jamie Lee Curtis had with Michael Myers. So it's just like that even though she finds out, the big reveal, the thing that it's been spanning over three films, that that is being the bastard child of her mother, that she never acknowledged, became a director and orchestrated everything, that's pretty good. And the fact that even though she hates him because she's killed people close to her, and she nearly killed her and everything, she still, holds his hand to the very end. So that's very touching, very cool. And yeah, but see, this is where, it's not wow. I mean, the plot is not, besides the ending, the plot is not original. The kills are cool, not outstanding. Um, even the beginning scene, even though it's cool, still not nearly as cool as part one or part two. So to me, this is almost like, even though it's still a pretty good, cool screen film, it's sort of a downgrade. I mean, it's just it. Even though, I had, because remember how we discussed on the Scream 2, shot that it's gonna that it didn't surpass part one. This definitely didn't surpass part one, and I don't want to say this is so far the worst of the series, um, but because the problem is that there are no there are no, how do you call it? I mean, they're good films. They're all good, but one of them has to take first, one has to take second, and this one has to take third. So this one fights very close to second. Between part two and part three are very close. I want to call them almost even. I didn't see, but maybe a little bit lesser. Um, and of course, there's one cool thing to mention here. I like the fact that Jamie Kennedy came back in a cameo there with a videotape, a past recording of him, in case he died. And in reality, that kind of acknowledges the mistake of the writers to kill him off too soon on part two, which, and very unceremoniously, by the way, which I completely did not like. So why did this happen? This is what I read in the internet, is the fact that, um, it, um, they had another writer come in and kind of try to follow on somebody on another writer's footsteps. Um, that affected it, and also, the Wes Craven had a grander plan. He has shot like several different openings. He had bigger plans to do, different endings, different shots, of everything, and different twists about the story should take. His idea to finish the trilogy was much awesome, but this time he was held back because, unfortunately, if you remember back at those days, it's very close to the Columbine massacre, and people were extremely sensitive at that point. So that so various acts of violence also had taken place, which kind of put the film into hot water even before it started to get shot. So Woodsboro, was kind of like on a leash, and I feel that whenever you put a director, and you take out his tools and you just don't let him operate the way he's used to, that's what's going to happen. So, do I hate this film? Of course not. I like it. Even though it might be the lesser of the three, but certainly I will give this a solid B. So we have B. Part one, of course, awesome. One of the best horror films of all time. You know what it is. It's an A film. Now we got part two being a B plus to a B, and this is a solid B. So we have a small drop off here, But certainly, the one thing that I painfully regret is the fact that Wes didn't get to make the film he wanted to make, and I think that really hurt the film. Acting is good, suspense is good, Ghostface is good. Skills are adequate, they're good, but they're not spectacular. Um, the I mean, in reality, it's just a good film, but it's not the way that Wes wanted to end it. So what happened? Wes had to give it one more shot, right? He had to take one more stab at it, and we'll talk about it next time for next film. Now, if you like this movie, please comment. If you didn't like it, also please comment. Just let me know what happened, and I just want to let you know. Like I said, I'm working on many projects, so stand by on my Puppet Masters. I'm coming back strong right after I'm done with this. So just stay tuned for Screen Part 4 next time, and subscribe. Take it easy. Good night. Peace out, my friends.